welcome to episode 2, I believe it is, of Rewind to the Con, where I'm going to talk about my experience for heroes and villains. So yes, apologies, it's been a while since I've actually done a video. I've been kind of busy with work, and you know the way people give excuses, and to be honest with you, I just haven't really thought about doing videos since now I've been getting it back into podcasting. Operation Retroshock.podbean.com. You can search for us on Stitcher, on iTunes, podcasts and things like that, so give that a listen, because I will probably be talking about this on one of the episodes as well, because not everyone watches YouTube and some people prefer to listen to podcasts. So yes, so the Heroes and Villains was from the Saturday and Sunday, the last Saturday and Sunday of May, and this is my first time being at this convention. A lot of the other guys like Simon, Robbie, Dave, Gemma and Karen, who I went with, they had all done this, and they'd actually were doing 2 days, and then because MCM had so many good guests like Letitia Dean from Black Panther, Wakanda Forever at Watford, or yeah, wherever EastEnders is, it's Letitia Wright, but there was an ongoing joke where I kept calling her Letitia Dean, so that's why I'm calling her that. So yeah, before I start, I really have to thank Karen for getting me these signed comics from Ultimates, which was a couple of weekends before, I think. So she got me this one here, which was signed by Violet Bean, who plays Jessie Quick. This one here, signed by Maggie Gia, I think it is, who played Poison Ivy in season 3 of Gotham, and Kristen Ritter, who plays Jessica Jones in Jessica Jones, funnily enough. So thank you, Karen, for getting those for me, because with me, it's some of the cons are too close together, whereas this one here in LFCC, which is the next one I'm going to in July, are quite close together. But LFCC is one where you always meet an abundance of people that you haven't seen for a while. Like last year, I was the first time I'd seen Mark in a couple of years, so that was good. The only pickups that I did, the only things that I actually bought were 3 comics. I don't actually have one of them here because it's in there in my comic box. Was this Flash TV special, which was £2. I thought it'd be handy if I ever met John Wesley Shipp. I can get him to sign that. And the Flash Season 0 issue 1, which was £6. And then I got an Adam one because I was tempted to buy meet Brandon Routh, but towards the end of Sunday my money was getting thinner and thinner and thinner, and yeah, I just never got round to meeting them. So before you go to the convention, you have to pick up your tickets and everything. So again, thanks Karen for picking my stuff up, because it saved us going from one end of London to the other and rushing to try and go and get the stuff, because they were only open from 1 o'clock to 7, and my flight didn't get in until like 4 o'clock or whatever. So you get, I was a VIP, which was a godsend, because you had a line for gold and platinum, a line for VIP, and the other ones were general admission. So this was very handy. And then on the way out, there were actually just these here sitting there. So I picked up that. You also have to wear a wristband, which I can kind of understand the point of it, but at the same time I kind of can't, because with this here, you could just go here and they wouldn't check your wrist or anything. So this was pointless. And showering with this on the Sunday morning was really, I'm right-handed and I put it on my right hand. So that was fun. I also found, you also got this poster, which I got Simon, Anna, Robbie and Karen to write on. Sorry Dave and Gemma that you didn't get to write on it, but I could not be bothered bringing this with me because room was a luxury in my bag as it was, and this would have got all crumpled. But you signed something for me anyway, so that's good. Right, so I'm going to talk about my autographs first of all, and then show the photographs for each day once I've done that. Now, Saturday I met quite a few people, and I can sort of remember the order I did them in. I'm getting old, so I don't really remember that much. Who are you again? So the first person I met from my recollection, Karen can't actually remember either. Karen was with me all day Saturday, which was lovely. The other guys were at MCM, so Karen and I were spending the day together, meeting these people, and it was lovely spending the time with her. So I got this one here signed by Juliana Harkavy, who plays Black Canary in the latest season of Arrow. You can't really see it there. I did have, for Juliana, I did have, because she's been posting about Super Nintendo games, I did give her a Mickey Mouse Super Nintendo game, and she was chuffed to bits with it. It was an American one, so she was able to play it before people go, oh, you're a publish, blah, 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 like Robbie did. Oh, mate. But yeah, she was made up with that, and she was just so lovely, and my photo of hers is probably one of my favourite from the weekend. And she was one of the must meets for me. There was like 4 or 5 in total. I was happy with all my autographs. The next one I met was Sean Pertwee, who plays Alfred in Gotham. So it says, to Chris, best wishes, Sean Pertwee, 00 Alfred. And he was talking to me about where I was from. I was talking about, he did a movie over in Belfast, and the beach was lovely, and it was meant to be this dark, dreary thing. And then he was talking to me about, he seemed to be one that if you were struggling to talk to him, he would make a conversation with you. And the conversation with him just kept going. And I said to him about David Mazouz wasn't out, and I said, Alfred's obviously slipping, you know, where is he? Why is Alfred not bringing him out? And he goes like, oh, that boy needs a butler, all right. So he was lovely. And this is an ongoing story, that all these guests that I met were really nice to meet. Katie Cassidy was one that I was contemplating getting, but the guys kind of said her photos aren't that great. You know, she always, if you want her to look miserable or, you know, not smiling, fine. But if you want her to look all happy, then that's not for you. We then met Josh Segura, who was wearing a No Holds Barred t-shirt. So my first words to him was, what's that smell? And he was like, oh, what's that smell? In fact, no, it wasn't him first. It was Stephen Amell first. That's right. It was Stephen Amell first. So I asked him for his full autograph. Just got a bit of time with him, because obviously he's the main guy, you know, from Arrow. He's going to be really busy. Walked up, looked at the line and went, there's no way I'm meeting him. And she went, where are you? And I went VIP, and she went, go on up. And then I was next, you know, like there was 3 or 4 people ahead of me. But he was nice to meet, commented on my Casey Jones Arrow t-shirt. And he was just really good to meet, and one that I was really happy that I met. And just one that I was going to get 2 autographs from him, but he was 60 quid an autograph, and I thought, you know what, one's enough. I was going to get something Casey Jones, but maybe that'll be done at a later date. But I was really happy to have met him. Another one was Daniel Panabaker, who plays Killer Frost in The Flash. So it says, Chris, all the best, Daniel Panabaker. So I asked her what colour she wanted to do it in. She went, let's go for gold. And she was lovely. She was the only one that I got a selfie with by myself, because it was, I think, 60 quid altogether. So I was more than happy to pay that, and she was just really nice, introducing herself to everyone. She went, hi, I'm Danielle. Like, yes, we kind of know that, because I had a big banner behind them. But she was absolutely lovely, so she was. And then I met Josh Segura, because he commented on my t-shirt, and I said to him that yes, Mr. Amell had commented on it as well. But he was just one that the guys had talked about last year and said how good he was and how right they were about that, because he took time to talk to you, because Karen and I went up to meet him and get a selfie with him as well, and he was just really good to meet. So he says that he actually has this comic framed on his wall, not my signed one, but I was really happy to have met him, and he was one of the highlights, because he was always wearing a wrestling t-shirt. On the Sunday he was wearing one to do with Sting and Ultimate Warrior whenever they were a tag team. I still, for the life of me, can't friggin' remember what their tag team was called, and neither can anyone else. So yeah, if you know, send a postcard too. So yeah, so they were who I met on the Saturday. So I will show you here the photographs that I got, which would be, yeah, okay, right. Okay, so the first one was Karen and I met David Ramsey, who plays Diggle in The Flash. Nice man. Every time I went past his photo booth area, he was not there. So as you can see there, that's the t-shirt that I was talking about there. And it was nice to meet him. The next photo was Karen and I met Josh Shigeri. You could see I said to Karen, can I go on the side that has Hogan, because I want to point to that. And again, you know, with him, all his smiles look like he's generally happy to meet people, which is refreshing to, you know, to have. One of the big meets for me, apart from Stephen Amell, was Emily Bett. Now, obviously, she's tiny, so that's why there's so much space between us and the top. So with the likes of these here, I can just crop it and just make it look better, because I asked her for a hug, and she was happy to oblige. And another one, all the women bar maybe one or two, I didn't ask for a hug for, so I asked for one from Katie Lotz, who plays Sarah Lance, White Canary in Legends of Tomorrow, and she was lovely. So she was. Just really happy with how that turned out as well. I'll put all these photos at the end as well, photos with the guys and stuff. And then I met Danielle Panabaker, who plays, as we said, Killer Frost, Caitlin in The Flash. So yeah, and then whenever I met Juliana, I asked for a hug, and it was only whenever I picked up the photo did I realise that she had done that. So I was more than happy with that. That was my profile picture on Facebook. I was more than happy with that, and she was just absolutely brilliant to meet. She felt a bit ill on the Sunday, so I'm really happy that I met her on the Saturday. And then I had my Stephen Amell photo and Hartley Sawyer photo. So what I had to do then was go to Hartley first, but before that, I had to wait for Robbie to come from MCM, which was about an hour away on the other side of London, to come rushing in to get in time for this photo, and thankfully he made it. So that is Robbie and I with Hartley Sawyer, who plays Ralph Digby, elongated man in The Flash. And then whenever I met Stephen Amell, I asked him if he could point to my t-shirt, and it was only whenever I stand there with my arm around it, I could see him going like this, and then he kind of went like that, and I'm really happy with how that turned out as well. Just to have something different too, but I was really happy with that. And I was meant to meet on the Sunday. I was meant to meet Talia Ritchie, but I moved that to the Saturday. So she plays Emily in Designated Survivor, and she was nice to meet as well. She was doing her joint photos with Robbie Amell, obviously her husband, and Stephen Amell's relation. So that was that on Saturday. On the Sunday, we then had Anna, we had Simon, we had Dave, Gemma, Karen and Robbie were elsewhere. Karen was at a wrestling show, Robbie was at a christening or somewhere, I don't know where he was. So yeah, so with Sunday there was more people around, but I was on my own more because I had less stuff to do, whereas the guys had more stuff to do because they were at MCM the day prior. So the first photo that I did was a Torchwood cast photo, so the full cast of Torchwood with Dave, Gemma and Simon. So thanks to Dave and Gemma for asking me if I wanted to be part of it. That was something that before this convention the guys previously had done one with the cast of Gotham, which I kind of wanted to do, but because everyone had met them, we didn't get that done, and was only at near enough the last minute that they announced the Torchwood one. So it was nice to be. I don't have the photo because Gemma asked me if I wanted to have that, and I was like, no, you take it, because I've never seen her as nervous or fangirl as much as she did for this. So that was wonderful to see. And that's the good thing about cons, is that, you know, whenever you're meeting people or talking to people, then it's going to be quite a good experience. So I only got 2 autographs on the Sunday. I wanted to get Robin Lord Taylor and Hartley Sawyer, but their lines were either open whenever I was busy or closed whenever I wasn't busy. So every time I went down, the lines closed, and went, yeah, but I'm VIP, and I went, that doesn't matter, because there were so many general access people. So I had my last photo, went down like I was told to go down to 10 to 4, went down, the lines are closed. So Simon and I then went and met Kirk Avocado, I don't know. But yeah, so we met him right at the last. Well, the guys were, and then the guys met Juliana right at the last. So that was good. So the first of two autographs that I got was from Corey Michael Smith, who plays Riddler. He was brilliant to meet. He was one of my must meets of the weekend. He was so busy on the Saturday, and I just about got him on the Sunday. And I think with the other ones that I missed out on, I'm not that I'm not annoyed with. I'm not bothered. But if I'd missed out on him or Stephen Amell, then I would have been bothered, because he was kind of one. He's my favourite villain, as you will see in one of my other photos that I shared with Simon. But yeah, he was just great to meet. Was just asking him, you know, like how he enjoyed his experience, you know, like yesterday, and he said, man, I was wiped out, went to bed at like 10:30. And it's nice to see that I share the same bedtime as the Riddler, to which he laughed and thanked me for coming. And the other one that I hadn't planned on meeting, but because his line was quiet, I thought, you know what, I'll meet him, which was David Mazouz, who plays Bruce Wayne in Gotham. And it's funny seeing his 8x10s and how much he's grown, you know, because obviously he was a little kid whenever he first started, and now, you know, like he's a teenager, and just seeing that. But the problem was that his silver and his gold pens were running out. So I had a silver one, which I bought thinking Dave wanted it, but then Dave said that he didn't need it, so I brought it with me anyway, and luckily it paid dividend, although Dave went home with my black pen. So theft, Dave, theft. So yeah, so it says here, to Chris, thanks for watching and bringing a pen you demand. P.S. Don't tell Alfred. So he signed his name, B. Wayne, and then a little bat symbol there. Basically, the helper went and stole 2 pens from Sean Pertwee's table. I didn't tell him directly though, so that's okay. But I was really happy with how that turned out. And I always love getting these personal messages on this, you know, like that's what I really like getting. So, funnily enough, my first photo after Torchwood, and I just about made this photo because the Torchwood photo was running late by about half an hour, and it was meant to start at 11:10, and this was meant to start at 11:45, and I had just finished the Torchwood photo, and then had to run around and go in, and I was like I said, I was the last one. So I'm going to take a drink here. I was the last one to go in to meet these two, which was Sean Pertwee and David Mazouz, who plays Alfred and Bruce Wayne. And Sean Pertwee commented on my t-shirt and pointed to it. So it says there, the good, the bad, and the butler. But they were lovely to meet as well. Just very, very nice gentlemen. And then after that, I had my photo with Simon. And Simon will tell you that the amount of times I changed my mind about what to get done. With Simon, well, I can't do this with any other person, but with Simon, I always know that this is going to turn out great. And it did. I was just, whenever I picked it up, I laughed at, you know, like how funny it was. So we asked Corey and Robin, who plays the Riddler and the Penguin in Gotham, to look mad at each other, pissed off at each other. And it was only whenever they did that the photographer went, oh, sorry, I didn't know you were ready. I thought they said something to piss you off. So it shows what good actors they are. And you can see there how good that turned out. I just said to Sam, we'll look happy in the middle, and those two just look mad at each other, which is just great. And then the last photo that I had was with Brandon Routh, who plays Ray. I always do that. Ray Palmer in Legends of Tomorrow, the Atom. And he was my last meet of the weekend. So, yeah, all in all, a good experience. Really well organised. My photos all went well until I was with somebody else later on the day. With Robbie, it ran late because Stephen Amell's was running late. So I had to go to Hartley's and then run around to join Stephen Amell's, or the other way. Yeah, that way. And then the Torchwood ran over, and then I think that Robin and Corey's was run a bit late as well, so I don't know. But I really enjoyed my experience there. Would I go again? That's a tough. I probably would go again, but I bought my VIP ticket straight as they went off on sale, and I should have waited because I could have got it buy one get one free. So that's what Anna and Simon did. Whereas I could have done that, you know, like if I go next year, then I would wait and then split that, say, with Karen and do it that way. So we can save money as well. It would also depend on the guests. If the guests were all the same, if they had a couple, 3 or 4 guests that I have met, so say they had like Joe and Iris from The Flash and Tom Kavanagh, who was meant to be there but cancelled, and you say Grant Gustin, but that's probably never going to happen. And then the guy who runs this burnt his bridges with Melissa, who plays Supergirl. So it would just depend, but I would wait and see. There's other conventions like Ultimates that there's people there that I haven't met, like Paul Blackthorne, who plays Detective Lance, and Willa Holland, who plays Thea, and a couple other people like from Gotham, because Carmen, who plays Catwoman, was meant to be at that as well. So all in all, it was a good convention, and I have to thank all the guys for making this a fun weekend. Like we always say, it's not who you meet, it's who you go with, and that experience makes the con. So on the Saturday, my con was enriched because I was with Karen, and on the Sunday it was enriched because I was with Simon and Dave and Gemma, and Anna, to a point. I jest. But yes, so I enjoyed my time there, and I would consider going again because of the layout of how it's done and how organised it is, and I would definitely go VIP again because that saved me so much hassle. General admission stuff, I think I'd be in queues for ages, so I'm really happy with how I did it and what I got done. I missed out on a couple of autographs, but that's neither here nor there. I would have been more annoyed that if I was in the queue and then they cut the queue while I was in it. So it is what it is. I think on the Sunday they'd been out partying the night before and weren't at their hotel till 4 o'clock, and some of them were suffering from jet lag. So like Juliana had to go to a dark room for like an hour because she had a really bad migraine, but fair play to her, she powered through it, and she looked happy as Larry in every photo I'd seen, and every person who met her said how lovely she was, so that speaks volumes as well. Unlike Haley Atwell, who suffered the same and was just a bit of a bitch. But yes, that will do it. So thank you all for watching, thank you all who accompanied me to the convention, and until the next one in about a month and a half. I'm getting too old for this stuff. Until next time.